Hello, welcome to Train Simulator. There we are. So, today we've got the Baldwin B4D. Now, last week, I said that this has a special automated fireman who deals with the injectors and firing the fire. And that I need to have another quick look to see if I remember how this works. Well, I kind of forgot about that. So I think we should probably go through the introduction and tutorial first. That'll only take 10 minutes. And then we can probably do something like this one, or I don't know, one of the ones that's maybe that one or this one. I think that sounds good. So let's do that. An introduction and tutorial on how to drive the B4D locomotive. Start. Begin. Go. Interesting thing. Why does the center and right track have a third rail in this image? And arguably the left track as well. Why? None of these are third rail. And if you look at the top, only the rightmost track has catenary. The other two don't. So clearly the electrification is specific to the train that needs it. Otherwise the other two tracks would also have electrification overhead. And yet both two tracks, arguably three, have had third rail. Super hexagon. Begin. Yes. That was fun. See, in this image they don't have the third rail. Although, isn't the train in the middle an electric one? Didn't the one in the middle need a third rail? Isn't that the what was it called? New York I forget what it was called, but I think that one was third rail and that didn't have a third rail. Maybe they were making up for that by adding the third rail on the other one. So here we are. I'm gonna disable that HUD and enable F5. So, welcome to Georgetown, Colorado. Today you will be learning to drive the coal-fired B4D locomotive. Yes, you will be learning, and then you can tell me, and then I can drive. The B4D locomotives were built by Baldwin in 1890 for the Denver, Leadville, and Gunnison Railway, SC and S narrow gauge predecessor. When the locomotives were built, they were the most powerful locomotives on DLNG, and well suited for the mountain grades and tight curves of the Colorado narrow gauge. In 1902 to 1903, the class were heavily rebuilt by the CNS at Denver with new boilers. When air brakes were introduced, they had air tanks placed on top of the boiler between the domes, as was standard on narrow-gauge C&S locomotives. They were renumbered 63 to 70, sorry I had to think there, because in German you would read that as 3 and 60, not as 63, by the CNS and classified as B4D. In the late 1910s, all CNS narrow gauge locomotives were given the distinctive Ridgway spark arrestor, which caught burning cinders leaving the chimney while not affecting the flow of the exhaust. It was introduced to solve the problem of forest fires caused by steam locomotives. The cinders could be emptied from the pipe down the side of the smoke box once they had cooled down. The Ridgway spark arrestor was often known to rail fans as a bear trap spark arrestor. I wonder, does this count towards the 10 minutes? Wait, the rightmost track had electrification? Oh yeah, yes. Long Island one. Yeah, that's the one I meant. A table. The B4D's specifications can be seen below. 150 psi, that's all good. I don't really need, unless it says some, although Now that, yeah, that's all good. Good. I don't really need that at the moment, but it's good to have. Thank you for putting it in. Yeah, but this map has also got a DLC which adds logging stuff, but as far as I can tell, that doesn't really extend the route much, if at all. It just adds a couple of industries along the route and some sessions with the new logging stuff. I've not driven on this route enough to warrant that, especially since it, even when on sale, it was really quite expensive. The B4D has a built-in auto fireman with different settings depending on how much fire mass is required. The setting can be seen on the back wall on the fireman's side of the cab. The setting can be changed by pressing E to go up a level and Shift E to go down a level. Setting 0 is auto fireman turned off. Setting 1 is for light work, and setting 5 is climbing steep grades. The auto fireman can control just the fire as well as being able to control water and fire. When the dial is red, it is controlling just the fire, and when the dial is blue, it is controlling the water in the boiler as well. By default, it only controls the fire, but continuing to press E once it's at level 5, it will go to level 1, controlling the water as well, and the dial will go blue. Yeah, so the thing is, the reason why you might want it to only control fire is if you're... I don't know how smart this is, but if you're going uphill, then injecting cold water into the boiler will cool the boiler, which means it will lessen the pressure of the boiler as well, because if you cool the boiler, less of the water is actually turned to steam, and then, yeah. So you will want to inject water strategically when you're not going up really steep bits. So I'm assuming that that's why you can do it separately. For this tutorial, you will need to set the fire rate dial to level 4, as you will be going up a steep grade, so you don't have to worry about water levels. You should go to level 4 blue. Okay, nice. Okay, yes, so it is that... I was... Okay, sure. First you need... Hello, Code Monkey, welcome. First you need to... Also, good thing that these pop-ups don't automatically disappear like the normal message pop-ups do in Train Sim scenarios. First you need to reverse out of the depot to the water tank before you can get going up the grade. As you should be using the built-in auto fireman function, you don't need to worry about the firing. As you are using the built-in auto... What? As you should be using the built-in auto fireman function, you don't need to worry about firing. As you are using the built-in auto fireman, the F4... Oh, right, does not fully work, and so it's recommended that you use the F5 display to keep an eye on the performance of the locomotive. Yes, this is what I was talking about before. To move, you must first release the train brake. Yeah, okay. I'm going to skip a little bit of this because I have driven a locomotive before. When your speed hits 5 miles per hour, start decreasing the reverse. Right, yeah. Okay. Once the caboose crosses the switch track, very lightly applying brakes around 40. Yeah. Okay, that should be fine, he says. Okay, so here we go. That is the indicator. So you press E, well, you need to hold it slightly, and then it goes through. Then it goes to level 1. Actually, it said level 4 we needed to do because we're going to go up a hill. So, oh, Serious Cow King, hello. Are you still doing the Planet Coaster competition stuff? So here's a locomotive. A beautiful locomotive, as I'm sure you can tell. Oh, the light is already on, good. Is the bell animated? Oh yes, of course it is. Oh, Mickey, hello, welcome. So here we are. Now I'll just have a quick look at the bottom. Dodge on water tank. Okay, yeah, that's good. The water tank is behind us. So, F5, yes, good. I shall release the brakes. I'll put the reverser to -100%. And look out the window. And let's get going. I'm going to switch over to the other side so you can actually see the HUD. Yeah, and you can see in the top left the steam usage rate and the steam generation rate. As long as the steam usage rate is lower than the steam generation rate, we're good. But of course that varies. I'm going to put the brakes into self-lapped. Also, I forgot to use the cylinder cocks, which is not ideal, but that's okay now, because this doesn't simulate that accurately, luckily. If only they added like a transparent background or an outline. I've had to use the smoke so I can read the text. Okay, gently apply the brakes. Where's the PSI? Brake cylinder PSI. That's 17 PSI, that should be fine. Actually, I'll release the brakes, that was a little bit too little. And apply. Does this count? Apparently yes. Right, chat. Wheels, yes. Good evening. Good evening, and I see we have a manual provided in textbook format now, yes. Because I didn't do the research I wanted to on how to drive this locomotive, because I forgot. And so, yes, we're stuck with this. But this is only a short one, and then we'll get to a proper scenario using this locomotive. It's been a while, yes, how have you been? Hi, hey, hello. So, in the UK, does your guys' trains have grade crossings? 2 short, 3 short, and 1 short? Nope. I think there might have been something as to when you use high and low pitched horns, because over here, pretty much all our train have a 2-tone horn. We've got a high note and a low note. And there might have been something of when you use the alternating ones, but I don't know. As far as I know, it's just whatever the driver wants. But that might be wrong. But we definitely don't have the length of horn usage. As far as I know, we don't have specific horn whistle codes for level crossings in the UK, if that's what you mean. Okay, just want to know. Yeah, that's good. Now you must change the switch ahead. Set the reverser full forward. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that switch I'm assuming we need to set. Did that actually switch? Yeah. Okay, so put the reverser 200% forward, release brakes. I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure right away because I think we're on a downhill grade. Yeah, so we would have actually rolled back slightly. Okay, so here we go. Where's the brake pressure? Brake cylinder pressure is down. Good. Oh, wheel slip. I don't know if this is penalizing us for... I think that is penalizing us for wheel slip. I like it when scenarios that use steam engines don't penalize you for wheel slip. What's our speed limit? 18, okay. I think it's 18 miles per hour for most of this route. Now, okay, there we go. You are starting to hit the grade. It's important to keep an eye on the boiler pressure as you have. Yeah, I know. between 135 and 150. Yeah, I know how this works. The bigger dial on the left-hand side of the cab displays boiler pressure, can also be seen using a 5, yes. So it's that one. And it would be interesting to try to drive using only that. The actual in-cab dials and stuff like that, but I have not experienced enough to do that. But yeah, with the F5 HUD, you can see the steam generation rate and steam usage rate, which is really important. Because what you want is is the blower open? I think so, yeah. You want the steam generation rate to be higher than the steam usage rate, like I said before. Well, generally, yeah. And that's the boiler pressure up there. And we're about 147. You'll be stopping at this top point above the power station spur to practice starting on a grade. When you reach the stop point, turn the regulator off and apply the brakes around 80% before you start rolling back. So where is that? S stop point, okay. Beyond the power station, which is somewhere up there. Right. Yeah, I'd say wheel slip is only for reasonable if it's continuous. So I gotta go cleaning my room, doing laundry, and fixing my bed. Bye-bye. Thanks for stopping by. Are we blowing up currently or not? Because that's the thing that this doesn't tell you. Well, actually our boiler pressure is a bit lower than that. If I put that onto self-lapped, that might help us a little bit. Okay, so that was is that the spur going down to the power station, I'm assuming? Which means we've got to stop when the whole train's past that. Also look, this does actually have a really cozy interior, the caboose. Even featuring different camera points. Okay, we're coming up on the stopping area. Yeah, playing this really makes me want to make a route like this for trains. You have now reached the location you will be stopping at, so it's time for you to turn off the regulator and apply brakes. Will do. Okay, so brake cylinder pressure is at 50 psi, that's enough to hold us except for the train simulator creep, which is when the locomotive is just sliding ever so slowly backwards even where it really shouldn't be. Does it say anywhere? Okay, our blowers are open, dampers are open, okay. Lovely. With chamber 1's 3-foot assets, You never know, it might creep uphill too. Good point. Yes, please. I would love to do that. To get going again, you must set the reverser forward as far as it can go. Release the brakes once the air reservoir pressure gets to around 60 psi. Right. You need to put the regulator on. Putting the regulator on before it reaches 70 psi should prevent a rollback. To help prevent wheel slip, you probably want to put the regulator on 80% before turning it up to 100. Once you get moving, it's also a good idea to turn the sander on while getting started. Yes. Good. So, our boiler pressure is actually still rising slightly. So if we're at 145, I'm going to wait until we're at 150. Well, approaching 150. I'll put the reverser in forward. Actually, does this have an in-cab light? Ooh, that was the... Yeah, I didn't mean to... Yeah, I pressed L thinking that's the internal light, but no, L is the live steam injector, I think. What's that? Is that the... Well, that is the cab light. Oh, it was already on. Haha. Okay, I think we can get started now. So, put the regulator on a bit, then release the brakes. Put it on there, open the cylinder cocks, well, just a little bit. It's fine. And our brakes are about to release, and off we go. Put on Sanders. And here we go. Okay, now the steam usage rate is much higher than the steam generation rate. We are only just getting started. So I'm going to lower that down a bit. Trying to find a happy balance between the generation and usage rates. Just trying to balance the numbers. That seems okay. I'll put the brakes into self-lap in the case that makes a difference. Toggle light switch during day. Why is it darker now? Yeah. By the way, this is the map. So quite a sizable route, for a narrow gauge route especially. So where are we heading? Oh, well done. You have now got the train moving again. If you have not already done so, you will now want to reduce the reverser to keep up oil pressure. Yeah, I've already done that. Ish. Yeah, that's good enough like this probably. I think we were probably just blowing off a bit there. Does this track remind you of the Norfolk track, Tango, like color-wise? Of course, this one's much high quality with being actually 3D with its sleepers. Well done, you've successfully completed the tutorial scenario. Good. And that 10-minute scenario took about 23 minutes. Although that is counting loading time. Ah, there's only 10 points that we lost due to that. So, how about this one? Well, I think that's the one we played previously. Down the switchbacks, maybe? Yeah, I think down the switchbacks might be fun. I haven't played this route in the winter yet, although I think I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult with slipping. But make up a freight train at Central City and take it down to Blackhawk, where you perform more switching. Note the scenario starts with a score of 1,000 points. Yes. Ah, so we're going to go downhill. Okay. Well, going downhill is easier than going uphill. Also, I find it interesting that the locomotive on the left has sparks coming from its wheels on the track, which means that it's wheel slipping, and that means it is... the wheels have locked up. Western Lines of Scotland. Stranraer, I think that was, where that picture was taken. Also, I have started reskinning Fairbanks Moore's switcher for the MVR. And I'm experimenting with a separate livery, and it looks quite nice, apparently. Once you get your train order and train number 151 has arrived, you'll be able to start making up your train. You will first be going to Hawks... okay, engine 66. Good. But what did the previous message say? I don't know. This will be fun to see the white text on. Well, at least, hold on, this might be a good opportunity to get a nice thumbnail. Especially since we've got a train. I shall take a test one, like this, just to see how... Oop, no, come on, stop, no, that's not what I wanted. 1 second. Take a test thumbnail like that. And then as that comes across, I'll take another screenshot. I think that's gonna be a nice one. Get in the cab then! Actually, before that. Chat. The Western Lines of Scotland one is interesting. The sign instructs passengers to use the footbridge. Rightmost one also has pantograph sparks. But there is, and to my knowledge, was no footbridge. Also, the sign points up the tracks and not towards the platform. Good spot. Get a cab then. Read white text. Yeah, I might just use the this menu for most of this, because that train's now in the platform. So we gotta go to the central city Hawley warehouse siding, which I'm guessing is that one on the left. I'll just double check on the map. No, it's not. No, we've got to go forwards. We've got to switch that. We've got to go forwards and then reverse back on the next siding on the left. Okay, so first things first. I need to set this. And I think for the time being, it's enough if I set it to maybe 2. Hopefully. And then open cylinder cocks, release brakes, put that into forward. 2 blasts. And off we go. Even though the brakes are still releasing, but that's fine. I've applied a little bit of pressure. And the brakes are now fully released. I'm guessing the speed limit is... Oh, it's 12 in here. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so we've got to get that boxcar, basically. That one. But look at this! It's actually really nice in the snow. And actually, against the blue sky, I can read that text quite well. I can also accelerate a little bit. I wonder, does this have independent brakes or not? Guess we'll see. I'll try applying them once we pass the switch. Now, loco brake is at 100%, but it's not doing anything, so no. Gotta actually use the air brakes. Come on. Brake pipe pressure reduce. Oh, this is really I mean, if it slows down this poorly with just the loco... I mean, granted, we're on a downhill 3.5% grade, but that's going to be interesting. There we go. Reverse that. And now back up the hill. Once the brake pipe pressure is up. There we go. And it's okay to use a little bit more pressure to just get started like this up the hill. You don't always have to make sure that the generation rate and all that lines up correctly if you're just doing switching like this, because it's not any long-term acceleration or anything. And brakes. That was a little bit too much brakes. Come on, just a little bit more. There we go. You can now pick up the rest of your train in Central City Depot siding. I'm going to apply the brakes before I run into anything down there. Although I think that might have... That was fine. Okay. Depot siding. That was where we started, or... Yes. Okay, good. So... Gotta go forwards again. And this time, I know that we're on a really steep downhill grade, so gotta use some reasonable amount of braking power. In fact, I'm gonna apply the brakes now. Brake pipe down to 12.5 psi. Yeah, that's slowing us down. But actually not as much as I would have hoped, but that's fine. Slowing us down enough. Okay, now switch that. Lovely animation. Now we've got a reverse. I'm going to put on a bit of sander as we do this. I've got to wait for the brake pipe to go back up. There we are. Now let's shove this up the hill. Huzzah for blue skies. Any hand out there got a weather report? Nothing but blue skies and mouth. 10-4, apprentice it. Appreciate it. Okay. Just gonna make sure that we don't run into anything back there, but that all looks fine. Imagine that. Pennywise as a wizard's apprentice. Ha! Let's start decelerating a bit. Still in pressure. 40. That's too much. Alright, because we're not going downhill anymore. Makes sense. Also, with this locomotive, do the inner wheels not have flanges? Actually, this might not be the best time to do this because we're supposed to be coupling. But that's something I want to check. Because with these tight corners, these tight curves, I really can't think how this locomotive could make it around them if the inner wheels did have flanges. And no, this isn't cheating. In the real world, you'd have someone else there spotting. And clonk. And brakes. Not too much brakes, just a little bit. As you will be running as an extra, you must display white flags. Use Y key. Once you have displayed your flags, you can be on your way down to Black Hawk. So, firstly, Y. There we go, white. And let's turn that on as well. Although, for performance reasons, I'm going to leave it off. So, forward. I'm going to quickly save. And then I'm going to check the flanges. Oh yeah, look, the center two wheels don't have flanges. Like if you look here, you can see there's a flange there. That one doesn't have one. That one doesn't have one. That one does have one. It goes there and then up. Very interesting. So, let's just double check which way we're going. Oh yeah, we're just going down there, basically. Oh, and then we've got loads of stuff to do down there. That's going to be fun. Let's go! And I'm not going to increase the automatic fireman because we're going downhill. Although, I do need to give myself enough leeway with the speed so that I can set the brakes. So I've got enough time to set the brakes how I need them to be set. I'm going to put it into the brakes into self-lapped so that I can more quickly put them into apply when we hit the grade, which should be happening anytime now. Look, you can literally see the line falling away down there. Is there not a speed gauge in this locomotive? No, I think that's brakes. That's steam pressure and brakes. I don't think there's a speed gauge here. Interesting, so I guess you just guess the speed. Also brakes. Is that enough to... Actually, at the moment... Okay, now that more of the train's hitting the grade, gotta apply a little bit more pressure. Brakes. Tiny little bit more. A little bit more. Keeping an eye on the speed, and we're currently holding at 9 miles per hour. Ah, this is very nice. Look at that! Okay, we're holding speed-ish. Ooh, although... I mean, this is a great opportunity for a thumbnail. Just look at how that looks! Our speed is fine, I'm keeping an eye on it, don't worry, he said. I mean, we've got a speed limit of, what, 12 miles per hour. So we've got a leeway of about 3 miles per hour to go, and we're gaining speed very, very, very slowly. And I am actually going to turn on the headlight for this thumbnail. Like that. Maybe a little bit zoomed in. Ooh, like that. Oh yes, that's nice. And we're only at 9.6. I think I can probably turn the automatic fireman down to stage 1. Right. Random passerby. What are you? A clown or a wizard? Pennywise. Who says I can't be both? Ah, yes. This would be so much fun to make in trains, something like this. Especially with such great assets. Apply the brakes, not too much! And stop. Open the doors, close the doors, and depart. Yeah, dearly depart. Oh yeah, Flanges. Maybe speed limits weren't super strict back then, so they basically just told you as long as the train doesn't break or fall apart, you're good. Yeah, I mean that was generally the thing where train drivers, if they were late, were kind of encouraged to speed a bit to make up for time, and depending on the railway, of course, but yeah. Oh, the grade has lessened. Has it? Might have slightly. I'm going to open the regulator slightly, with the brakes still on, just so we can get a little bit of speed going, a bit more. Because while I do think that it's good to keep a little bit of a margin to react, going 4 miles per hour below the speed limit when the speed limit's only 12, you're going a quarter too slow. Although, how is this grade? Oh, the grade has lessened even more. I'm gonna release a little bit of the brakes, not that much. How's that? Okay, now we're accelerating again. And quite quickly. I need more. Yeah, that's the balance to strike. Gonna release the brakes, but then be ready to apply them as the system catches up. Just in little intervals. Keep your eyes on the numbers. And also, on the map. Okay, that seems to be a good balance. We're keeping it at around 9 miles per hour. And we're blowing off. Good. The posted speed limit is whatever. It's all about the numbers, people. And now I'm just going to quickly use the regulator to get our speed up a little bit more. Even though I know I've got the brakes on still. How's the grade looking? Oh, it's gone down to 1.5. That's interesting. I'm assuming that's a milepost. Such a nice view. Also nice that they usually had a stove in this. Unless, of course, it derails, and then the stove makes the wooden cart catch fire, which unfortunately happened not as seldomly as you would hope. Okay, so 1.4 miles to go-ish. Right. Yikes, must have been like a real stove in there. Mm-hmm. Same thing happened with passenger coaches as well. Wooden ones with the stoves. The derails, the wood splinters and breaks, trapping people inside, and then the stove makes the whole thing catch fire. Yeah, not great. Horrific. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, you can't burn to death. You'll already have died from blunt trauma when the coaches telescope into each other. Well, according to the reports, after some of those crashes, there were definitely people still alive afterwards. Well, after the initial crash anyway. In the one that I'm thinking of. But hey, this can't happen in Train Simulator, so that's good. Such beautiful scenery. The horrors of early railroading. That's not even half of it. No, quite literally, that's not the half of it. Look at all the railway stuff down there. Hey, that looks interesting. Look at an S-shaped trestle there. Are we gonna have to go down there? Are we gonna go forward and then go back down and then go over? I think that's probably what the plan is. Yeah, we've got to stop at the switchback and then probably switch back at the switchback, considering that this scenario is named after the switchbacks. If you don't know what a switchback is if a train goes forward over a junction, then reverses the other way through the junction, and then goes forward again through the other junction, and basically zigzags back and forth without turning around. Hey, we haven't had a flyby yet. There's a flyby, look. Apologies for the lag. I'm actually going to turn the lamp off, that might make it a bit easier. Oh, we're at 12. Nope, need more brakes. I think the grade increased again. But luckily we didn't go to 13, so that's good. Oh yeah, the grade did increase again. Haha! I've still got my 1,000 points. Let's quickly save. Not that I would exploit the save load function to regain the points, but rather... Oh look, that's where we're gonna go, down there. That's the other side of the switchback. So just in case it crashes, that's why I save. Okay, I need to apply a little tiny bit more pressure. I think that's fine. Yeah, that's just ever so slightly slowing us down, rather than us ever so slightly speeding up. So I'm just going to use a little bit of throttle to keep up the speed. At 12, that's only in 11 minutes. Oh, right. Ah, look, those rocks don't have snow textures on them. Come to think of it, neither does the sky! Dun dun dun! Also, that's an interesting change in tree type there. Not sure if that's completely intentional to look like that. Although, probably is. Might be logging or stuff like that. Was it the forest in front of us? Why is it cut? That's what I meant. It might be that, or it might... Ah, yeah, it's probably that, yeah. Look, that's what we're gonna go down. Along there. I once thought about making a German route with like a 90s era DMU. Oh no, we're at 13. No, apply brakes. Ah, I think we lost a couple points there. Nope, not yet. Phew. That was a bit close. Yeah, and like with an older DMU, and the intent was for that to have switchbacks on it as well. Yeah, we are at the very end of this little branch. It's halfway along the map, pretty much. As the grade change... Oh, it's gone back down to 1. Okay. I do need to lessen the pressure a little bit. I think that if... Yeah, it puts the brake cylinder pressure down pretty much all the way when I release. So, gotta be a bit careful with that. Come on, start decelerating, please. Nope, actually start decelerating, please. Okay, good. Bit much. Although I let the speed fall a little before I release the brakes again, because when I release the brakes it dumps the cylinder pressure, which means that I'm gonna need time to recalibrate it. So doing that. That's dropping. Cut it off there. 4 psi doesn't cut it. 4.1, nope. That's too much. 8.8. Actually, 8.8 is probably just okay for the time being. So we've got to come forward past the switch. Oh, and there's a bumper at the other side. So probably don't want to slam into that. I'll just quickly save. A little bit more brakes. A little bit more, yeah. There we go. Also think, yeah, the grade levels out here to 0. So, dumping the brakes, pretty much. Not too much though, because we are still gonna have to stop. How much space do we have? Oh, we've got loads of room. More. Don't stop yet. Can we see the... Oh, there, yeah, there's the... There, that's the track end. Do not continue past that. The train will just roll down the hill. Ask Thomas how that is. And apply brakes. So we've got to stop here for a few moments. They'll stop a rampaging elephant, that will. Mm-hmm. If you miss it, well, you're gonna go down there. Although, on the plus side, you might end up back on the tracks. Either on that side or on that side. You will now be reversing down the lower switchback. Once you get to the lower switchback, you will be dropping off your train to make a pickup at Blakehawk Eagle Mill before putting your train back together again. Yeah, I doubt that we'll have time for all of that today, unfortunately. Okay. Now, 1, 2, 3, and let's go. Not too fast because I need to be ready with the brakes. Okay, so we should start accelerating down the hill soon. At the moment we're still losing pressure, but that should change losing speed, but that should change very quickly. Right? Have we crested yet? Yes, we have. Okay. So now I'm going to apply brakes a bit. As more of the train goes onto the grade, we're going to need more and more pressure. Yeah, now we're accelerating again a bit. Ever so slightly, kind of. No, don't release, just apply. Okay. 10 psi isn't enough. 14? 14 is a little bit too much. But that's okay. I'm just going to use the throttle to accelerate us a bit. Map view? Sure. So we've driven from over here down to there, and then we need to get down to there. This is the whole map. So yeah, this map is quite large. Ah, look, this view is actually useful now. I don't know, but this feels really cozy. And we're speeding up slightly. Having an automatic fireman does make this a lot easier. Although I suppose in real life it wouldn't just be the engineer driving the train on his own. You'd also have a fireman There. What's our grade like? Oh, 4.1%. Negative 4.1%. Interesting. Okay, we're slowing down a little bit. So, if this was in CGI towards the tangent, yep. AEG2, no question about. AEG? Egg. But Eagle Mill? Someone tell Slovak to stay away from here. Feel free to go till 15:15. Really? Okay. If that is okay with you, then sure. Yes, could you show the map? Oh, I did that. It does. I don't know why, but this feels really cozy. And we're speeding up. Slightly. That feels less cozy. Oh no, the train's tipping. But it feels cozy now. Honestly. Oranges go. Oh, right, yeah. Has the grade lessened? Oh, yes, it has a bit. I'm just going to power through this section, because releasing the brakes completely, only to then reapply them, seems a bit dangerous. Unless I want to get rid of a lot of the speed, which I don't. Even though I know it's not ideal for the wear and tear of the brakes, but at the moment I care more about getting down the hill quickly but safely than I do about the non-existent wear and tear on brake shoes. Although I will say my eyes are straining a little bit looking all the way up in that corner for so long. Because from my point of view, it's not that angle, it's at that angle that I've got to look at, pretty much. Because of the way that this setup is placed. Actually, would you even have that many assets for a train's route set in this sort of time and location? Like building assets. I know there are some, but I don't really know if there are that many. Actually, now that we are on such a low gradient and it's lowering even more, I'm gonna dump the brakes and then well, I'm gonna keep the brakes at around there. I mean, even that's too much. Oh, did not mean to release there. That seems reasonable the way it is now. That wasn't perfectly timed because we were slowing down as I was doing that. Oh yeah, should suffice. Can tell the brain cogs are spinning, searching the whole DMS. Hahaha. Probably. Would be nice if the handbrake wheel on the caboose was also animated. Yeah, unfortunately you cannot turn that. I don't think... Actually, can you interact with... Oh, now we're going over that S-shaped track that I mentioned previously, because before we were up all the way on that hill on the left there. Oh, this is so nice over here. Just going over that little road down there on a wooden trestle. And then we're going under this trestle up there. Oh, look, there are mine carts or something up there. Or wooden blocks. Sorry, stone blocks? Who knows? Release the brakes, we need more power. There's a flat area here. Ish. Yeah, because I know that in the GWR Auto Coach, for example, you can control the train from the other cab, although that might count as a locomotive. Where do we need to stop? Alright, just before the bumper, basically. Yeah, and depending on the frame rate, like if it's lagging, then the game runs slower, which means that stuff like how quickly the horn releases is also different. Yeah, I can't see the text at all like that. So change it like this, and release. We'll go a little bit further, because we've got to go past the switches. Oh yes, we're on the flat now, that explains why we slow down so much. I'll be chatting a little bit. Yeah, can you tell that I'm a bit cautious with this locomotive because I'm not used to it? So I'm guessing we just need to go past the switch. And brakes. Okay, that should be good. Ah, that's very nice back here. You've even got the water sounds from the river. Do I need to do anything here, or... Nope, that's good. Oh, now we need to... Okay, so I need to lower switchback. I need to decouple what again? 11, 4, 4, 4, 6, 4... So I need to do... It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, do I need to... Oh, I need to uncouple all of these then. Yes. I'll quickly save first. Yes, good. And now I need to head forwards and couple to more stuff at Blackhawk Eagle Mill siding, which is... yeah, I just need to switch that switch. Then go forward, couple up to those two. Speed limit's still 12, good. Oh! Thank you! No, why? The brakes were on! That must have been train sim creep. No, come on! You can't go on adventures with me yet, I'll come back and get you in a bit. Come on. Brake pressure release, please. Hopefully that wasn't an oh no, okay, good, that wasn't an operational error. Okay, so apply brakes. Self-lapped. Now I'm gonna put it into forward. Then I'm gonna release and go. Actually, that's on the points, but should be fine. Okay, so release and go. Yeah, see, it is ever so slightly creeping forwards. I'll recheck properly in a moment. Brakes. I cannot see pressure gauge. No, that should be fine. Ish. Come on, more brakes. Okay, that should be good enough. So now I need to switch this switch. I'll recharge once I've coupled up to those wagons. But look, this is so cozy in here with I know it's snowy and cold, but with the canal and the railway running down in the middle with the buildings either side and the little... I heard that there's downhill. I should really accelerate so that we don't roll back. Yeah, with the sidings there, the little bridges going over the little canal, or brook, I suppose, or creek. There we go, that's the word. You can tell that the authors of this route put so much time and work and love into it, can't you? Oh, there's a bit of a snowdrift on the tracks, so I hope that's okay. Let's quickly save, just in case it isn't. Okay, I'm just gonna let it roll a little bit. And then these apply a bit of brakes now. Okay, good. Now go back, pick up your train that is behind. Good, good, good. Will do. Actually, chat, yes. TS, does Backslash run it? I don't think so. Does TS does support controls within passenger views that sync with train parameters. One of the updates brought it in, but there was something about them not being interactive. Reminds me of Shane Lake, bridging over the town like that. Yeah, no idea how Victory Works scripted the autocoach. That sounded like the coupler noise, Of course, things with brakes on, not hills. Brakes on, not hills, will creep towards you magnetically. This is all of these cars, right? Let me say first. Operation error for -5000. Situation autosaved. Oh, wow. The setting is very nice. Not really my preference for operation, but it is nicely modeled. I mean, I think that if I had to pick my favorite preference for operation, as you put it, it would probably have to be probably modern British EMUs, third rail EMUs. Like, because my favorite route is my favorite route for Train Simulator is the Chatham Main Line. And so that sort of stuff, like, we've got loads of passenger stops, and you've actually got to pay attention to changing speed limits and signals and that sort of stuff. Lots of stuff going on. I really enjoy that quite a lot. Did we clear the switch already? Yes. Apply more brakes. Although I do very much also like steam trains, especially in this. I think my favorite steam route in this would probably have to be the Riviera line in the 50s, with the West Highland line, or whatever it was called. Western Lines of Scotland, with Western Lines of Scotland being a close second. Now the junctions should theoretically still be aligned for me to couple up to the other cars. You like heavy commuter style stuff? I think, well, not all of it, of course, but I like that. So I like that it gives you lots to do. It gives you the opportunity to because with more long distance stuff, it's generally you get up to track speed and then you just continue on at track speed while making modifications, well, adjustments as speed limits change or gradients change. But with lots of station stops, then you've also got to try to, if you've got a tight schedule like you do with heavy commuter stuff, then you've got to also try to keep to that, which means really getting to learn your train's braking profile and getting the hang of estimating that and stopping at the right markers and that sort of stuff. Plus with the sort of London area commuter things, you've generally got so many different junctions and lines crossing over each other and connecting to each other. I'm going to drop off the entire train on the depot south track. Okay. I'm just going to quickly stop the train because I need to check the map and I don't want it to derail while I'm, or break the speed limit while I'm checking the map. So where have we got to go? We've got to go, oh, just there. And we are already aligned. Good. But yeah, so specifically the London area has so many lines crossing over each other and junctions this way and that way, and you've got so many bridges going over each other, and a lot of it is elevated as well, which means you've got a lot of quite a few good views of the city. That's a bit too much braking for the time being. I mean, there is definitely something to be said for long distance journeys as well. Assuming that you've got a reasonable speed to travel at. Like, for example, when I did the 4-part Flying Scotsman journey all the way from Edinburgh down to London, that was a lot of fun. Although part of that was because I had to manage a steam locomotive at speed, trying to get as much speed out of that A3 Pacific as I could. which I... So where do we need to stop? Oh right, at the depot south track. Which I believe is the... Yeah, that's what's marked on the map. Okay. Yeah, but I think that if I had done that journey in something like a... I don't know... In like a... a Hitachi 803 or something like that, then I think that would have been significantly more boring. Alright, I'll read that chat in a bit. How much more do we have we got to do? Oh, there's still a whole bunch of stuff. I don't think that I can complete the scenario today. We'll probably, yeah, we'll have to complete the scenario next time then. I think a reason why this is taking so much longer than it was expected is because of the performance, because the game is lagging, which means it is running maybe a good, I don't know, 15-20%-ish, I would guess, slower than what it should be. So I am actually quickly going to save here before decoupling, because if I decouple here now, then it might couple back up again. So I'm going to leave you with this lovely view of a steam locomotive above a river while I read chat. And that may actually be a nice thumbnail, who knows. The shape of the station kind of flows in with the locomotive. It's good if it's large, but it's not so good if it's small. And now I shall read chat. I'm actually going to move the microphone over here so that if I look, as I look over, it's going to be a little easier for you to hear what I'm saying. So, oh, that's not good. The clamp. Glad I spotted that out of the corner of my eye. The clamp of that should be attached to the table has come off. I'll put it in the secondary one. 1 second. I'm really glad that I noticed that. 1 moment. I need to very quickly undo that screw, put it in, then redo that screw. There you go. Okay. If you're interested, here's the proof. Okay, so now that it's a bit closer to my mouth, I can actually talk without having to shout. So, right. Suburban Glasgow is full of that sort of thing, minus the third rails. I haven't played the newer store version. I did enjoy the earlier freeware version. Interesting. I don't think that I've got that map. Doc, I need to tell you something. I lost it. What? The DeLorean, I just checked the barn, and it wasn't there anymore. Bothersson. Buford Tannend. Sitcom laughter. Marty. Wait, no, that's stupid. Buford Tannend wouldn't have the faintest idea on how to drive a car. A large wooden impact is heard, planks breaking and splintering. Buford in DeLorean. Rolls down window. Oh, wouldn't I? Oh, there was a freeware version? Of course Tannend would have crashed into a manure wagon. Manure. I hate manure. Ah, yes. Good references. It's time for you to get the manure, McFly. Just this once. You get the manure. Oh, there are links. Could you post those in Discord, maybe for later reference, because I don't really have the time now. There is a freeware one. Some author as the full West Highland line. I don't know. Yes, the new paid one is a remake of part of a freeware project that was on the go for years, which covered larger area. Very interesting. Right, and I'm not worrying about the time because I'm not going to save this, because I just saved before. Oh, the hissing's gone. I hope that that's a good sign. So with that, thank you very much for watching this, and tomorrow we'll continue multiplayer Minecraft, and that might be the last multiplayer Minecraft stream, well, on my side, on the modded world. Who knows? It depends on how much I get done and how much Kangol gets done on Wednesday. But we're definitely close. We're definitely close. Right, so good night. Bye-bye, everybody.